What's going on, guys? This is Frozen Wish Studios here, and welcome back to another video. And even though Toy Story 4 was my last Pixar movie review for Pixar month, that doesn't mean I am not going to give up my Pixar content because we still got a week to go before the month ends, and I still got a bunch of other Pixar related videos that I personally want to do. And since I did my top 10 favorite Pixar movies list, which by the way, I kind of had a lot of changes to the list. I think I did it too early. If you want to see my updated top 10 favorite Pixar movies list, go check out my Letterbox list for that. But yeah, so since I did that list, I thought why not talk about what my least favorite Pixar movies are. Yeah, the complete opposite. Now, I like a vast majority of Pixar films. I like almost every single Pixar films I see. But however, there is no denying that Pixar is not a perfect studio. And yeah, Pixar is not perfect. And yeah, and but actually there are like very few Pixar films that I dislike. There's like so few of them. In fact, there's like I only count six Pixar films that I don't love. A vast majority of Pixar films, I rate like a 5 stars, which I gave 15 Pixar films 5 stars. There are a handful of 4.5 out of 5 stars Pixar films. The Pixar films I still truly love, but I would have a minor flaw to them. There's like the 4 out of 5 Pixar films that I think are great, but but these 4 out of 5 Pixar films, I actually rank them as among some of the weaker Pixar films. And then there's the ones that I gave below a 4.5 out of 5 that I consider my 10 my the weakest Pixar films. Like now, I did put in a poll that this was a top 5 list. This is going to be top 5, but thinking about it, I decided to make it a top 6, so I can talk about every single Pixar film that I think that I don't love, that I don't think are great. So yeah, anyways, without further ado, if you want to if you want to know what my least favorite Pixar films are, then just keep watching. At number 6, Lightyear. Yeah, if you watched my initial Lightyear review back in 2022, then you're probably surprised that I put this on the list. But unless if you are a follower of mine on Letterboxd, you probably know that I realized that this film is not very good. Now, I still, don't get me wrong, I still think Lightyear is overhated, and I still kind of enjoy this film, but I don't think it's like the best Pixar film ever. Unlike what I initially thought, I will admit that I did overhype the movie at the time. I just wanted to put this because it just looked so cool, and I was always down for a more grounded and serious, action-packed Pixar film. Lightyear has the best marketing for Pixar. Okay, well, maybe not marketing since they did flop at the box office, but some of the best trailers that Pixar has gave us, and I was like, damn, this could actually be really good, and there's like so much potential here. But then, yeah, the more I sat with it, the more I realized that my thoughts kept on declining and declining and declining. Now, yes, like what I said, it's still a decent film, but in terms of the kind of Pixar film in terms of the fact that I wanted this to be one of the best Pixar films ever made, it's kind of disappointing, honestly, especially for Pixar standards. Now, I will say I like this approach. I know people don't like the fact that it's too serious and too grounded and too gritty, but that's actually one thing that makes Pixar so special, is that they want to make a more grounded and serious and gritty Pixar film, but Pixar film. The problem with Lightyear in that tone is that it doesn't always stick with it. It makes the tone so inconsistent. Like the first 30 minutes established that this was going to be a grounded, serious, and mature film. The first 30 minutes, by the way, I love the first 30 minutes of the film, and John Campea said it best. It looked like a Best Picture winner material. Like, I like how it's trying to be Interstellar, but it acknowledges that it's not as good as Interstellar, because Interstellar is one of my favorite movies of all time. Top 15 favorite movies of all time. I love that movie to death, and I knew it did show like it was going to be that. it's very you can clearly feel the groundedness of it, the tone of it, and by the way, guys, stop using the LGBTQ gay kiss scene in this film as like your only reason to not like this film. Like I'm fine with people not liking this film, but just stop using that as a flaw. Like that's a good thing. LGBTQ representation is a good thing. Stop. Stop with that BS. Yeah, and it's also emotional as well. Like that scene when Buzz saw that scene when Buzz saw Alicia's message when Alicia was going to die, was about to die, and that did make me cry. Alicia is my favorite character in this film. She is the heart of the film. But unfortunately, when we meet Izzy, Mo, and Darby, oh boy, yeah, that's where the movie goes completely downhill. Because what was established as a grounded and serious film, it turns into a goofy comedy with forced comedy and side relief. Like it turns into a generic kids movie where basically I actually don't mind Izzy. I think Izzy is alright, but she's nowhere near as good as her grandma. But Mo and Darby are so stupid. Like they're just your typical kids animated characters where they'd be stupid just for laughs. Like, what is it with these kids movies just thinking that the characters being stupid and making dumb decisions will make them laugh? Like, they do that just for the sake of jokes. And yeah, they do that just for the sake of jokes. And yeah, I praised Mo because he looked like Matthias from Frozen 2, but as a character, he's like the complete opposite of Matthias. Matthias from Frozen 2 is a very confident and powerful character. But here, but Mo, I mean, Mo is just is so unconfident. He's so stupid. And also, by the way, Taika Waititi does not fit as an animated voice actor. He did not fit the role of Mo. I don't know who the fuck thought it would be a good idea to cast Taika Waititi in this one. Never let him voice act in an animated film again. And Darby is just as stupid as them. But if that isn't bad enough, the comedy in this movie, and also the fact that this movie actually is kind of slow paced in the sense that, oh man, I think we could all agree that the Zurg plot twist freaking stinks. Like, seriously, the fact that Zurg is basically Buzz from it's like an alternate universe of Buzz, or like, there's like a different timeline where Buzz is like not the same Buzz that we know. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Isn't that hard to make him Buzz's father, like in Toy Story 2? It was clear of that. Yeah, I guess we can all agree that the animation is really good. It's gorgeous, and the score is it's actually one of my absolute favorite Pixar scores with the dun 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 dun. Yeah, amazing. But yeah, I know I said a lot about this film, but I just really wanted to give my updated thoughts on this film. And by the way, for the Pixar films on this list that I didn't review on my channel, I'm going to spend more time talking about it and less time with the Pixar films that I actually already reviewed. But yeah, while Lightyear is the weakest Pixar film of the 2020s decade, thankfully there hasn't been a bad Pixar film this decade yet until Toy Story 5. But yeah, I think this shows that Toy Story 5, that the Toy Story franchise has gone completely downhill after 3. And spoiler alert, this is not the only Toy Story movie that you'll see on this list. Oh boy. But now let's get into the top 5. Yeah, I think I said enough. At number 5, Cars 2. Yeah, the Pixar film I have yet to review. And I'm not sure if I'm motivated to review it mainly because of my controversial opinion in this film. But as a negatively received film, Cars 2 is actually overhated. I don't think it deserves any of the hate it gets. Cars 2 is what I like to call a dumb fun Taco Bell movie. Now, yes, I don't acknowledge Cars as a quality film because I'll admit, I can see that Cars 2 is not a quality movie. Yeah, and it's not a quality movie. It's not a well written movie. And there are a lot of problems with the film, like making Mater the main character, Mater the worst Cars character. Why would you make Mater the main character in a Cars movie? You can make Luigi and Guido the main character, and would have been fine with it. You can literally make Finn McMissile and Holly Schiffel the main characters in this movie, and I wouldn't mind. But no, it had to be Mayor. I mean, heck, you could have made Sally the main character, and I wouldn't mind. Like, but why Mayor? This felt more like a major spinoff than a car sequel. I hated how they wasted Lightning McQueen. And they turned Lightning McQueen into an absolute jerk. I mean, Major, like he just wanted Major to be so perfect, and then when Major just made a small mistake, the smallest mistake you can think of, McQueen just like, oh Major, how dare you make a mistake, and then he goes, how dare you make one mistake? That's it, we're no longer friends. Yeah, that is so stupid. Yeah, fuck McQueen in this movie. Such an asshole. Also, the villain suck. I mean, Miles Axelrod is such a wasted villain. He's literally only a twins villain for like 1 second of the film, and everyone hates Bellwether because of her lack of screen time as a villain. But at least Bellwether was able to explain as to why she's a villain. It actually made sense. But Miles Axelrod, oh yeah, also at least Bellwether, you can at least feel her sinisterness. Despite being like a cute and cuddly innocent character at first, but Miles Axelrod is just a regular car, and he's just there, and then he just becomes like a villain at the end, and blah blah blah. I don't care. Yeah, and I don't care. Yeah, but however, the reason why I like Cars 2 is because it's fun. I mean, why don't you just turn your brain off and enjoy this movie instead of just shitting on it and just complain about the fact, oh no, it's not emotional, it's not on the same level as Toy Story 3, oh, it's not Pixar quality. It's not, but you can clearly tell that this movie, they weren't trying to make this a quality Pixar film. It's just a fun movie. And, oh yeah, by the way, this is my favorite in the Cars franchise, because at least this movie tried to be serious. At least, no, not serious. At least this movie did not take itself seriously. At least it tried to be fun. It was very self-aware that it's ridiculous. And as a result, yeah, batshit crazy stuff happens. There's like these spy cars and all that stuff. There's like these cool, but I think the spy stuff is awesome. Actually, the action scenes in this movie, James Bond, but with cars, sign me up. I mean, yeah, Finn McMissile and Holly Schiffel. Holly Schiffel in particular is my favorite car. Is my favorite Cars character. My favorite character in the entire Cars franchise. Sure, Maker being in love with Holly Schiffel is forced, but felt forced. But I mean, Holly Schiffel is still like my favorite one. I mean, I'd love to see Finn McMissile and Holly Schiffel back in a Cars film, but I guess they won't because literally the spy stuff is the main reason why people hate this movie. Oh yeah, also another thing that makes this my favorite in the Cars franchise is because is how is the fact that even the races feel different. I mean, instead of just being a basic film about a racetrack, they literally race around the world. So we actually get to explore the world. We get to explore different countries, and we get to see the race cars racing around other countries. It's not just it's not just America and the generic generic race car trend. I know I said many times that I didn't want a Cars 4. Maybe at this point I'd like to see a Cars 4 if and only if they include they make it like Cars 2. Okay, yeah, maybe you can take out the spy stuff and make Maker's focus so that the people can people so that people wouldn't hate on it, but make it a film. Make it go back to that plot line where they go around the world and McQueen just races around the world. You can probably do that, but remove all the stuff that people hate about Cars 2, and I guarantee you that would make the best Cars movie. But if we make Cars 4 and reuse that generic boring ass track race track from the first and third films, then no Cars, then Cars 4 is a no for me. I'll give Cars 4 a chance. Yeah, thinking about it, but hopefully it's more like this film. So yeah. At number 4, oh boy, here comes the hot take incoming. Cars. Yeah, I know y'all are gonna hate me for this one, but yeah. Cars is the most overrated Pixar film I've ever seen. Oh yeah, and also now we're getting into the Pixar films that I don't like. These 4 Pixar films, I do not like them whatsoever. Cars is that, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna talk too much about Cars because I don't want to overstay my welcome in this video. Like what I said, that Cars is a snooze fest of a film. Like, I cannot care about this film whatsoever. It's too long. It's like the longest Pixar film. It was the longest Pixar film for a while, until it was dethroned by Incredibles 2, which good. But yeah, Cars is a snore fest. Like, nothing happens in this movie. Barely anything happens. The racing are good. The racing scenes are good, but the racing scenes are good, but like the rest of the movie, like especially the Radiator Springs scenes. I mean, we spent far too much time in Radiator Springs, like a full hour, nearly like more than an hour in that boring dry wasteland that is Radiator Springs. And I don't like Radiator Springs. It's so boring. Like, why the fuck would you want to waste your time with this boring plastic wasteland? At least Cars 2 we actually get to explore the world. We get to explore the world. That's so cool. But no, this movie, 2 hours of fucking Radiator Springs, one of Pixar's most boring ass, like dull and lifeless locations. Like, and this movie feels lifeless. Now, it's not a badly made film. It's not that bad. I can understand where it's coming from. There are some great stuff in this one. There are some good moments. Occasionally there will be some good moments within the second half of the film. But I think it's just the long run that affected it. If only they made the pacing better, and if they made this one less boring, then it would have been fine. At number 3, oh boy, another hot take incoming. Cars 3. Yeah, Cars 3 is probably my second most overrated Pixar film behind Cars. I think this movie is just as overrated thinking about it, because Cars 3, people say Cars 3 is their favorite Cars movie, if not Cars 1. Like, it is unanimously agreed upon. Cars 2 is everyone's least favorite Cars movie, but some say Cars 3 is the best one. Like, but to me personally, this is the worst Cars movie. And this is actually a straight up bad movie. Okay, well, I will admit with this film, it's not as boring as Cars 1. It's not as boring and dry as the first film. But what makes this one worse than Cars 1 is how forgettable it is. At least Cars 1 is memorable. Even though Cars 1 is boring and slow, at least I remember it. I can remember Cars 1, but Cars 3, I barely remember it. No matter how many times I rewatch it. And out of all the Pixar films, this is the safest and most generic one of them all. So apparently Cars 2 took a risk and tried to make something as ridiculous and absurd as possible. It was actually a risk for Pixar. But unfortunately though, that it didn't work out. So I guess that the only way to save the franchise is to play it safe. I mean, you could have at least redone the exploring the world aspect of Cars 2. You could have made the it's about racing around the world again, but this time focusing on that instead of the spy and major stuff. That would have made the best Cars movie, but instead it decided to just be a copy of the first Cars movie. This is basically has every single sports movie cliche you can think of, the underdog cliche, and those sports movies where the old guy retires and then trains a new guy, and then the new guy, this new generation comes in, all that stuff. Yeah, it's literally that plot line. And And the message of following your dreams and not give up on it, it's so done to death. And yeah, and yeah, I feel like this the only thing that this movie tries to do is just appeal to the people who hate Cars too. This is basically like a key jiggling movie. Oh hey Pixar fans, hate Cars fans, you hate Cars too. Well, we're going to copy the first film, and you're going to like our movie instead. Yeah, that's what this movie. That's the bullshit that this movie was trying to like give us. And it's also it drags too, not as much as the first one, but it still drags. Jackson Storm is one of the worst Pixar villains. He's so boring. He's just chick hicks, but he doesn't even do any villainous. He's just like, oh, I'm a rival for Lightning McQueen, and I try to crash into Cruz, yeah, and all that stuff. And yeah, all that bullshit. And why the fuck would they even bring back chick hicks for no reason? And yeah, but and then if one villain in this book isn't enough, we have to have another twist villain, which is Starling, a generic CEO or manager who turns out to just want me. Yeah, honestly, I mean, I thought Mouse was bad, but honestly, Starling makes Mouse Axelrod look like a syndrome in comparison. My God, yeah, Mayor is just an annoying. And yeah, and I hated how he interrupted McQueen when McQueen was like, speed, I am speed. He tried to focus, and then Mayor just interrupts him. Yeah, what the fuck? They apparently weaken they copy the opening speed, I am speed, but then just make it so dry and with that forgettable opening racing song. At least Cars 1 had like Real Gone, yeah, a very memorable song, but this one just now, as for some of the things I like about Cars 3, it has the best animation in the franchise. I like how these cars are much shinier, and I like the Thunder Hollow scene. One of the best scenes in the entire franchise. I mean, the scene when they visit Doc's old track is decent, and Cruz is actually a pretty good character. Sure, yeah, Cruz can get annoying at times, especially with the music of dun 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 dun, like dun 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 dun, dun. Like when they do that, and 1 and 2 and 1 2 3, yeah, oh, that's so annoying. Yeah, when the Cruz that was like, and this and do this, that I was like, shut up. And yeah, also I will say, I don't mind the decision to make Cruz replace Lightning McQueen on the track. And I like the scene when Cruz jumped over Jackson Storm, and Jackson Storm tried to crash her. That element that was badass. But otherwise, yeah, Cars 3 is bad. I don't like it. At number 2, Toy Story 4, as I'd like to call it, Cash Grab Story 4. Yeah, what a bad movie this is. I think I said everything that needed to be said in my recent mini rant, so go check it out. It's like 40 minutes long, and I that's actually one of my favorite videos, one of my favorite reviews I ever did on my channel, one of the proudest ones. I made as much good points as possible, some of the best points I made, and I love that video. But yeah, Toy Story 4, yeah, this is the worst Pixar sequel for me. Like it literally it not only unnecessarily continues the perfect ending of Toy Story 3, but it literally retcons it. Bonnie, apparently Bonnie doesn't care about Woody anymore, even if she's supposed to take care of Woody for Andy. This is not for herself. It's like Bonnie completely forgot about Andy and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, I guess I like Bo Peep. The animation's good, voice acting, and okay, well, I will admit another positive. I like how they included the "You've got a friend in me," yeah, in the beginning, and I made the original version. And you know what? I take it back to what I said in Toy Story 3. "You've Got a Friend in Me" is the best Toy Story song, just not the best Pixar song like what everyone else says. Steal the Show would be my personal favorite, and also Touch the Sky from Brave. But yeah, this movie is just it's just really bad. Maybe it's not a completely bad movie on its own when you separate it from the franchise, but as a Pixar, but as a Toy Story film, yeah, it is a massive dud and kind of a train wreck. In comparison to the perfect trilogy that it gave us. Yeah, yeah, and Josh Cooley, I don't trust you one bit in your other projects. I don't trust you in Transformers One at all. Like I'm not even look. Transformers One doesn't even look good. I'm sorry. Maybe it could surprise me, but I don't trust him. And also, yeah, Josh Cooley, not cool. Yeah, I should call you. I should call him Josh Uncooley. Yeah, huh. But yeah, it came close to being my least favorite Pixar film. But yeah, it is the worst Pixar sequel. Best Pixar sequel ever made, Inside Out 2. Worst Pixar sequel ever made, Toy Story 4. Who agrees with me? But yeah, and my number one worst Pixar film, not weakest, but worst, is The Good Dinosaur. The one Pixar film I fucking hate. Well, we'll see how Toy Story 5 goes, but yeah, fuck this movie big time. I mean, I'm not even gonna pretend that Peter Son didn't direct this film since he directed the best Pixar film, Elemental. But good Tebas, The Good Dinosaur is a pile of is a steaming pile of shit. Yeah, I guess the backgrounds are gorgeous and the animation is pretty. The backgrounds are gorgeous and there are some heartwarming moments here and there, but I mean, my god, this movie is just such a bore. And you can clearly see the obvious production troubles that this movie is. People call Shea Phillips out for over mentioning this movie in this review, but but it feels deserved because this movie just sucks doo doo, and yeah, this movie sucks doo doo, and I think I hearing Shea Phillips hate on this movie is actually fun, and yeah, it's devoid. This is devoid of any Pixar magic, and I mean, I'm lost. This movie also had a brilliant execution of like what if a meteor didn't strike the Earth, what if dinosaurs and humans coexisted. But what we got instead in execution is a rip-off of The Lion King and Land Before Time. And yeah, and the voice acting of Arlo just makes me want to rip my ears off. Arlo is the worst Pixar character. And to those of you who say Merida, and for those of you sexist bigots who say Merida is the worst Pixar character, go fuck yourself. Arlo is far worse than Merida. You only put Merida as your worst Pixar character just because she's a Disney princess and a strong female character. So yeah, and yeah, and apparently the film is also very safe as well. Apparently, Arlo was being a dick and he was like, complaining about the fact that he doesn't get his reward, his footstep in the house, and then he literally at the end he just gets it. He just gets it, gets a reward just for coming back home after being missing without actually doing any chores. That's not a good message. So apparently this movie is teaching its kid to just get lost. Just so you can get your reward when you come back. Bullshit right there. It doesn't even have any message to teach. It's just, I guess maybe conquering your fears, but that's it. And it is so emotionally manipulative. It's in some scenes like that Firefly scene right there. Oh god, so manipulative. So yeah, I don't give a shit about this movie. Yeah, and also people say if you think that Inside Out was the Pixar's redeeming film, think again. So yeah, that is why The Good Dinosaur takes the cake as the worst Pixar film ever. So also for my top 6 weakest Pixar films ever, what is your least favorite Pixar film? And do you agree with everything on the list? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for more Pixar content to come. So yeah, bye guys.